The sun casts long shadows across the savannas of West Africa, cloaking ancient kingdoms in a veil of mystery. But within this tapestry of vibrant cultures lurks a darker thread, the practice of slavery. Long before European ships sliced through the Atlantic, African societies navigated their own complex webs of human bondage, a prologue to the unimaginable horrors to come. Today, we journey back in time, peeling back the layers of history to uncover the seeds of the transatlantic slave trade, where power struggles, cultural clashes, and a thirst for wealth paved the way for an era of unprecedented human suffering. Ancient echoes. Slavery in pre-colonial Africa. Slavery existed in Africa centuries before European contact, primarily as a consequence of warfare, debt, and legal sanctions. Societies like the Mali Empire and the Asante Kingdom integrated slaves into their socio-economic fabric, granting them certain rights and potential for freedom. This early system, while harsh, differed vastly from the brutal chattel slavery that would emerge later. European arrival and shifting paradigms. Portuguese explorers, lured by whispers of gold and ivory, ventured into West Africa in the 15th century. Their insatiable appetite for riches ignited a new chapter in the story of slavery. Kings like Afonso Franz of Congo, initially unaware of the true intentions of these foreign newcomers, engaged in trade deals that included enslaved people. This marked a turning point, setting the stage for the exponential growth of the transatlantic trade. Kingdoms of captives, the rise of the slave coast empires. As demand for slaves surged, powerful West African empires like Dahomey and Oyo emerged as central players. Led by ambitious figures like King Agaja of Dahomey, these kingdoms transformed into well-oiled machines for capturing and selling prisoners of war from rival tribes. This shift solidified the slave coast as a key source of human cargo for the burgeoning trade. The birth of the triangular trade. A deadly cycle took shape. Europe, insatiable for cheap labor, supplied manufactured goods like guns and alcohol to Africa. These were exchanged for enslaved Africans, who were then shipped across the Atlantic to toil in the burgeoning plantations of the Americas. The resulting wealth flowed back to Europe, perpetuating this inhuman chain reaction. Human cargo, the Middle Passage, a voyage of desolation. The journey across the Atlantic, infamously known as the Middle Passage, was a nightmare in flesh and bone, crammed into sweltering holds, chained, starved, and ravaged by disease. Millions perished from despair and brutality. This transatlantic coffin, as Olaudah Equiano, a former slave, described it, became a chilling symbol of the trade's inhumanity. As the 17th century dawns, the gears of the transatlantic slave trade grind faster, churning out human misery on an unthinkable scale. Millions have already been torn from their homes, families shattered, cultures fractured. But whispers of resistance begin to stir, both in Africa and the Americas. The fight for freedom may be nascent, but the seeds of rebellion are sown. Join us in Part 2 as we delve deeper into the peak of the trade, the heroes who rose against it, and the ultimate quest for emancipation.